welcome to the Tuesday, July 12th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Roll call starting on my left.
June Gaffney.
John Blair.
Carly Stardance.
Brian Bray.
All right, there are no alternates to appoint. There are no public hearings. Moving right on to the regular meeting, which I call to order. Addition or correction to the agenda. We have one item for new business. Item A, New Stone Manufacturing and Distributors, LLC. So I'll entertain a motion to add that to the agenda.
I'll make that motion to add that to the agenda.
I have a motion by June and a second by John. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, added to the agenda under new business. Any citizen participation, comments outside? There's no public hearing, so we didn't have to worry about that. Okay, hearing none. Moving on to unfinished old business. Item A, Elvis Real Estate Holdings, LLC, requesting site plan approval for proposed automotive sales and service on property located at 28 Main Street, Moosup, Assessor's Map 2M, Block 66, Lot 4, C2 zoning district, and this was continued from last month.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
For the record, my name is Norm Tebow, licensed professional engineer with Killingley Engineering Associates. I'm here representing Elvis Real Estate Holdings this evening. I think as you recall from the last meeting, there was some concerns regarding the stormwater from the site, and I've worked with the town's engineer on this. We had a couple of full discussions, we reviewed the plans, I made a couple of modifications to the plans, and essentially what we came up with off the edge of the paved surface and prior to the fence line, we are proposing a 3-foot wide by 6-inch deep water quality swale. It's more like a level spreader. The back end of the swale is going to be set at elevation 238.5, so you get the sheet flow across the top of it. This will be grassed. The topsoil, I've specified a seed mix to go in there on that there that Mr. Eaton has agreed with. I believe he did forward a letter to the commission as well. And one other thing I think that they wanted to see was an operations and maintenance plan for the swale, which essentially is just inspecting it on a weekly basis and after events of a half an inch of rain or more until the grass is established. And then after large rain events for the first year, and then usually annually after that. I've also specified to keep the grass within the swale between 4 to 6 inches high. It'll act as a nice filtering mechanism. And also the soils here are pretty well drained as well. So the topsoil itself acts as a medium to collect if there's any kind of contaminants in the runoff at all. Typically, anything like hydrocarbons or anything like that will typically stick to the organics in the topsoil and not leach down into the ground. Seeing that the limited space that we have here, and aside from going down the slope down toward the river, creating some sort of an outfall, this, based on the restrictions that we have on the site, Mr. Eaton agreed that this is the most reasonable approach to stormwater treatment on the site. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Were there any comments from staff on the proposed?
All of my comments have been addressed. The town engineer has reviewed the plans and has approved them.
Any questions from board members regarding the revised plan? Okay. All right. Hearing no questions, I will entertain a motion on the application.
And please note the suggested
Oh,
conditions.
sorry. So for suggested conditions of approval, we have the site must be completed per the approved site plan prior to receiving a use and compliance certificate to begin operations. Town engineering fees to be determined are to be paid within 30 days of receipt. So when making a motion, if you could include those conditions with your motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the addition on the site must be completed per the approved site plan prior to receiving a use and compliance certificate to begin operations, and that
by John, second by June, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I abstain, because I got here late.
Okay, understood, thank you, Frank. And please note that Frank is here.
When did we start? I thought we started at
7 at the dot.
6:59 when I sat on my butt.
Oh man, we gotta sync up your clock to this one. All right, moving on to new business.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item A, New Stone Manufacturing and Distributors. This requires a special permit. And currently we have no public hearing scheduled for August. We do have one public hearing scheduled for September. So it's up to the board member. 2 for September? Okay. 2 public hearings for September. So it's up to the board members. You can choose to schedule this public hearing for August or September. I would recommend September.
Because we are going to be down here for August because the primary is upstairs.
So there's schedule conflict is what you're saying?
Yes, so we don't want to have a large hearing.
All right, so,
Yeah, I would make that motion to schedule it in September.
okay, I have a motion to schedule the public hearing in September.
Second.
Second by Frank, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, scheduled for September. Reviewing and acting on the minutes of June 14th and June 29th. Were there any modifications or changes? I had none.
See, on the 14th, I know it's just a small thing, Sean is spelled with 2 N's, Sean Peterson. But there was one thing, he said, Jay Gagney asked how much farmland is left in Plainfield. What I said was how much in that parcel between Route Road and Route 12. And they did answer that, so,
Okay.
yeah, somebody did answer that. So it was just in that parcel. Those are the only 2 things I saw in that one. Oh, and a motion on page 7. Jay Meyer made a motion which was seconded by R. Meyer, so I wasn't sure who the other person was, maybe Roz.
Oh, maybe it was Roz Shiddick.
Probably Roz.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything in the other one, so just that one.
Okay,
And then we have-
perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I have no opposed.
Okay, so hearing no other changes, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes with the revisions as noted.
Make that motion.
Motion by June,
Second.
second by John, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Meeting minutes are approved. Moving on to correspondence.
No correspondence.
No correspondence. Moving on to zoning enforcement.
14 Canterbury Road, for junk vehicles and equipment on the property. A lot of progress has been made since the last meeting, so they don't have a whole lot left before they're in compliance. I was going to push this off to the attorneys, but since they're moving along with it, we'll hold off.
How much more time will they be given?
As long as they're making progress, good progress, we won't be sending it to the attorneys. We don't want to spend money or cost them money if they're working with us. I'd say it's 3/4 done right now, and there's a lot there.
All right.
So 3244 North Road, PLC, this is still before the courts. We have a hearing on August 8th. 11 Feet Downing Road, Mackin Construction Equipment, this is now closed. The site is in compliance, and they have complied with all the attorney's orders. 13 Simmons Ave, the Briscoe Motor Vehicle Junkyard, this is before the court, we were waiting on a hearing date. Hardbox Road Extension, PHH Mortgage Corporation for a junkyard. A lot of progress has been made since the last meeting. There are still vehicles on the property, well, campers and boats, but all the junk has been essentially cleaned up. They've also re-sided the house is looking good, so they are making a lot of progress over there. So we're not going to be sending that to the attorney just yet. 256 Spalding Road, RV as dwelling, also tractor trailer boxes and job site trailer. We've removed 1 trailer so far. This will be going off to the attorneys. 9 Wilson Pond Road, Win Stanley for dead trees. I have a call in to Win Stanley to find out when those trees are going to be replaced. 8 Lafayette Ave, original Gagnon, mobile home on the rear of the property. was dragged on. I think they're going to make a flathead out of it, but we were told to remove it. That has been removed, so that is closed. 5 Laurel Street, Slosik, Roast and Pig in RA19 zone. This was a cease and desist order. They appealed it to the zoning board of appeals, and the ZBA overturned the cease and desist, so this is now closed. 27 Pickett Road, Brewster's in RA30 zone. Complaints came in, the individual took care of those. 552 Squaw Road for a junkyard. This is going to be going out to the attorneys for court action. And that is it.
All right. Was there a report from planning and development? No report. Any items for other? Yes,
If you don't mind, Madam Chair,
Mr. Cunningham, please.
if we can go back to the report, 5 Laurel Street. While the zoning board of appeals did discuss it and looks like they made motion, they really didn't. So I'm going to have to send a letter to the chair to explain to them that they didn't vote on it properly. So it's still open in my opinion.
Okay. First Tuesday of the month.
First Tuesday.
Okay. So just let us know if that gets
Yep.
done at that meeting. All right, thank you, Mr. Cunningham. Anything else for other? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by June,
I'll second it.
second by John, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. See you in August. Thank you, everybody.